Hi, this is Dan Lexi from Dan Schultz Outdoors, reminding you to keep the adventures alive.
Hey y'all, I'm Jonny.
And I'm Colleen. And we're the Kuehl Kuest. And we want you to keep the adventures alive. Cheers!
Hey, this is Darren from Ride Paddle Repeat, encouraging you to keep the adventures alive.
This is David from Beachley Ironworks saying keep the adventures alive.
I'm Jay. Let's go. From Jay's Way, keep the adventures alive.
Hi, I'm Kevin Collen, the Happy Camper. Remember, keep the adventures alive. Awesome!
Woo, buddy! Shug here! Keep the adventures alive. I am.
Ethan here, the Avid Outdoorsy Guy, reminding you to keep the adventures alive.
We're John and Aaron.
Keep the adventures alive.
Hey everyone, it's Collen from Lure of the North, and I encourage you to keep the adventures alive.
This is Sky North telling you, keep the adventures alive. And now on with the show.
Tonight's episode of CANOEHOUND'S Outdoor Adventure Show is brought to you by OTG Meals. Fresh, freeze-dried, small-batch meals made for people on the go. Algonquin Outfitters, with 4 key locations in and around Algonquin Park to serve your backcountry needs. Kid Products, stick stoves and reflector ovens proudly made in Canada. And Novacraft Canoes, connecting you with nature in Canadian-made canoes since 1970.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of CANOEHOUND'S Outdoor Adventure Show, a show that brings you closer to the great outdoors. My name is Dennis, also known as CANOEHOUND. And if this is your first time tuning into the show, thanks very much. Hope you enjoy it. We are live here every Tuesday evening at 7 p.m., except for the last couple of weeks, but we're back at it now. And hopefully we can make you a subscriber by the end of the night and you enjoy yourself enough to do that. Let's see here. We got a few things to cover here just before we get into introducing tonight's guests for the show. Looking forward to a very fun evening with a couple of people that are long overdue to be on our show, so it should be a good one. I just wanted to say this past weekend, I actually was at the Ontario Winter Camping Symposium that was held in Waterloo, Ontario. What a great event it was. If you happen to miss the event, man, you missed a good one. We had 4 great presentations that really touched on a bunch of things, especially for those of you that might be interested in winter camping. I might be able to put out a video a little later with a few tidbits of information, but it wouldn't be fair for me to put out the whole videos of all the presentations because they're not mine to share. But maybe I could share them with the presenters and then they could share them with you. So we'll see if we can make that happen for you. Just wanted to thank David Bain, who is the organizer of that show. He puts on a really good event every year, and I'm really looking forward to going to the Ontario Backcountry Canoe Symposium come springtime. So with that being said, keep your eyes and ears open. I will always mention it here on the show, and if you do have the opportunity to get out to that show, you might want to do that. But right now we're gearing up for the cold weather seasons, and you know, a little bit of late fall. Maybe if we can get in a last canoe trip before the season is out, try and do it. But you know what? Right now is a great time to start hot tanning. You know, the evenings are getting nice and brisk out there. It's cool, and what better way to practice setting up your tent, your hot tent if you have one, and stove. Get out there and give it a shot, man. Enjoy it. Just want to throw out a few birthday wishes. We have quite a few this week. Ray Goodwin, our good friend from the UK. He's celebrating a birthday. Good friend Helga Hetzer over at Kid Products, a sponsor of the show. It is his birthday today, or well, this week. All these birthdays are this week, not particularly today. One of our guests from next week, Jonathan Ontario from the YouTube channel Lost Lakes. He's celebrating a birthday this week. And John Babalik from Backcountry Custom Canoes. Happy birthday to all of you. If anybody is having a birthday celebration or some sort of celebration that they would like me to share here on the show, drop me an email right there at canoehound@gmail.com. I would be more than happy to get your birthday wishes or anniversary wishes or engagement wishes or heck, man, happy divorce if that's your cup of tea, right? But whatever it may be, send it over to me. I would be more than happy to share with everybody the special occasions. Let's see here. What else have we got? Just want to shout out to my channel members, and especially to everybody who has partaken in the Buy Me a Coffee thing that's going on. I put out a couple of posts today regarding, I've been suffering some really bad gremlins here, electrical gremlins. It seems like anything I touch related to technology these days seems to be blowing up in my hands. Recently had one of my laptop, my main laptop that I do all my live streaming and my editing. That went for a crap on me. My webcam, I'm shooting on an old webcam here right now. Even my memory stick, my 256 memory stick yesterday fried on me too. It took all kinds of information with it. And it's like, oh my gosh. So yeah, it's been a tough week, but I put out a little thing there on Buy Me a Coffee that, and I never like to ask for money, but it's going to cost me a lot of money to replace the stuff to be able to put on this show for everybody. I'm running on old computer here right now, old webcam and stuff like that, just trying to get things taken care of. But it's going to be a sizable investment for me to be able to get this all going. But I have put a link in the description below there. If anybody wants to help support and maybe help offset some of the cost, that would be greatly appreciated, but not necessary. Like I say, I'm not asking for it. Just letting everybody know that if you can, it's there, right? But that's all I want to say about that. Thanks to you, those of you that have already helped pitch in for that. Greatly appreciated. Like I say, it means a lot, especially for a show that costs a lot, but doesn't have a lot of return, right? My return is bringing you great content, and that's the fun part of it for me. Anyways, if you have any great topics or guests that you'd like to see on the show, also please drop me an email right down here at canoehound@gmail.com. I've had many of you reaching out to me of late and passing me some great ideas, and I got a few things in the works right now from the suggestions that you sent through to me. I do try to listen. I do try to make these things happen, and sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. But when they do, they're usually good ones. So please keep the ideas coming. And then again, as you know, this show is very live and interactive. So if you have a question for myself or my guests, please do put the word question before your question in the chat over there, and I'll do my darndest to either hit a star on here so I can ask it at the appropriate time, or I'll try and get it on screen right away. But if I don't, I'll be opening up just after our break and our swag giveaway tonight. Yes, we have a swag giveaway after our halfway break. And we got a couple of good prizes that'll be coming one lucky winner's way. So make sure you stick around for that and better your chances. So we'll be posting a link. We'll be trying to get many of you up here to ask questions of myself or the guests tonight, and have some fun with it. You know what? It's not as difficult as you think. Just hit the button, set up your camera, microphone, and you're off to the races. And just picture everybody in the chat over there in their underwear. Right? There you go. Let's see here. So let's get into tonight's guests. Tonight's guests are a dynamic Can-Am couple from Michigan who have a passion for backpacking, paddling, backcountry camping, and overlanding. They're also the hosts of a weekly live stream show called Backcountry Couples on their YouTube channel Kuehl Kuest. Please welcome Jonny and Colleen Kuehl. How you doing, guys?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey, everybody.
Is it Kuehl or Kuehl?
So here in the States, I grew up, it's pronounced Kiel, but if you do go to Germany, they put little tildes over it and it's pronounced cool over in Germany. So,
But we're the cool kids.
or cool in the gang.
We're cool in the gang. That's been our newest hashtag.
Cool in the gang. Yes. Yeah, you know what? That's why everybody's calling you the cool kids.
Right on.
Yeah,
right
our
on.
friend in the woods with Bigfoot, he deemed us that.
A couple of years ago.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
I like
I
the
remember
Can-Am
him. I haven't seen
couple.
I haven't seen him on YouTube in quite a while.
Yeah, he hasn't been on for a while either.
He's been doing a
Yeah,
lot of
for
photography
sure.
though.
Yeah. So welcome back yourself.
Yeah. I just got back from a vacation that kept me from doing this for the last 2 weeks. It was a welcome break, as any vacation is, but it took me, I'm still recovering.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You come
pictures,
home
look
from a
great down there.
vacation and you need a vacation to recover from
You
it.
you do. I agree 100%.
It's like
Good.
going on a canoe trip or a backpacking trip. You come
Oh.
home and you're exhausted, right?
Oh, I know you need like a vacation from your vacation.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah,
Or a
that's what
recovery
everybody
day.
says. That.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, but it was all good. You know, it was very, very warm, and I mean very, very warm. But you know what? I miss the fall season because I really enjoy the fall season around here, and I've been fortunate enough to actually get up north and enjoy some of the colors up there too. So that was
Beautiful.
That's cool.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And you guys were just over here in Canada side because Colleen, you're from Canada, right?
I am. I'm from London, Ontario.
No way.
Yes, I am. No, we were there. The last time we were in Canada was the end of August.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Well, and what was the purpose? Were you just here like as tourists, or were you
At the end of August, it was just like a quick little family visit before we headed out on a 3-week journey out west. So yeah.
Yep. Just getting caught up with everybody and seeing everybody.
Yeah.
Because it's been what, 3 months prior to that? That was the last time we were there.
Right on.
So that's cool.
Try to get over as much as possible.
Yeah. So tell for a lot of the viewers, I'm sure, follow your channel and your show and stuff like that, and your Instagram and all this stuff. But tell us a little bit about yourselves for those that don't know Jonny and Colleen. I mentioned you're a Can-Am couple.
We are.
Right.
Yep.
And,
or an Am-Can, whatever you want to.
An Am-Can. It's clearly Can-Am.
and Cam.
No, come on.
Right. Age before beauty.
Yeah, no, we've have been married for just over 5 years. I'm not looking for the.
Wow, she had to look to you for that, John.
I did not. I was just over 5 years, and and we are residing in Michigan. So yeah, I'm from Ontario, like you said originally, and but Michigan is just like Ontario, anyways. It's the same, right?
Yeah,
better.
And we got together, and we just love to be outdoors and do exactly kind of what our mantra is there. That paddle, trek, camp, and overland, and we love to do kind of every opportunity we can.
Yes.
Cool. Well, we'll get into a little bit of each of those things so that you guys are like the super couple, eh? You do it all, backpacking.
I would go. I'd say jack of all trades, master of none.
I think it's just opportunity. It's like sometimes opportunity is not right for canoeing or getting out in the water or kayaking, but it's perfect for a backpacking trip or something like that. So we try to kind of squeeze in what's going to be best for our next adventure.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you got a lot of different things under your belt because you also have Backcountry Couples. And you get to do all the neat things that I get to do in researching and trying to find guests and producing a show on your own. And you guys do a great job at that as well.
Full credit to this darling for that.
Thank you. It is kind of one of those unintended outcomes of being a couple in the backcountry and getting to meet other like-minded couples. And it's just basically kind of, getting together and, sharing a drink around the campfire, but it's just through the YouTube. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's great.
Yeah. Just having hosting a party.
The neat thing about it too is the people you get to meet, right? Like you were mentioning in the green room, you made friends even as recently as your trip here to Canada.
Yeah. It's nuts actually. So, and we've actually connected with some of the backcountry couples that we've interviewed and gone on like a weekend trip with them or something, and it's been fun.
Oh yeah.
It's just the outdoor community. I mean, it doesn't matter where you are. You know what I mean? You're around someone who's doing stuff that you love to do. There's that instant connection, right? So throw in some camp juice in the mix. It's all good.
Yeah, I always enjoy that too. Like I say, I was at the Winter Camping Symposium, and I've met a bunch of people that I've met at past shows from before, like Darren from Ride Paddle Repeat and Gary from Camp 69 and a whole bunch of others, right?
Yeah.
And but it's always neat to meet people that you see their names in the chat and stuff when you're doing a show, but they come up and say they watch all the time. The first thing I always ask them, I go, "What's your name in the chat?" Right? Because I don't know their face, right? So I ask them, "What's your name in the chat?" Right? And then they'll say the name. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah.
Right. It's not like everybody goes around like their logo on their clothing or something like that.
You're all different for sure.
So
fun.
Yeah. Well, we wear the logos on our chests. Hopefully, maybe somebody will be curious and maybe visit our channel, right? But
for sure.
After a while, it's like
And you've got a great logo, and it's been something that's out there right now for like last couple of years, and it's recognizable, right? So
yeah. Well, you guys have a very cool logo. Like it's,
thank you.
Yeah, it's who designed that? Yeah,
he came up with the name. I came up with the logo.
Well, that like that's pretty creative. You did a great job. I wouldn't have thought of the opposing K's and the way.
Thank you.
Yep. Well, it all started with trying to put something together, and what's it? Is it an acronym? What's the terminology?
An anagram kind of thing.
Anagram, right? So I wanted to do something
like superimposed kind of thing. Is what
where
it is.
I was taking like my letter J and her letter C, and then making a K out of it in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
And then but either way, because I've seen like what's it, like Brantley Gilbert and other famous stars. You can take that imagery and flip it upside down. Doesn't matter if you're upside down or straight side up. You can what that logo is.
Yeah.
So the only thing that keeps this straight is the tree. Well, there's a tree right here, but
it's green, so it's see-through.
Green screen is see-through, but anyways, that's the only thing that keeps it from being upright. But
your K's do have a J and a C in them, kind of, right? The crook coming down left.
Kind of. Yeah, kind of. I guess.
But anyway, I was just playing along with that, and she just took it and was doing searching and looking at designs,
and just wanted something solid.
And we do this, that, and she's like, I came home one day and said, "What do you think of this?" I was like, "Wow, that's
it.
I like it."
Move over, Nike. Here comes Kuehl Kuest.
Here comes Kuehl Kuest. The cool kids are in town.
I'm kidding.
Right. Nike. Oh my gosh. Yeah, just do
it.
it.
You can say that because I don't wear Nike, so that's
I know, right?
Yeah. So the two of you meet like what, 5-6 years ago, 7 years ago, and you become an item. Now, how did two of you meet? Was it like?
So no, it was not a swipe thing. So
no. Hey.
No, it was not a swipe thing. I have family here in Michigan, and my mom wanted to see her great uncle, or her uncle, my great uncle, who was turning like 90 at the time. And I was like, "Mom, love to go with you." I was single and came with my mom and was at my great uncle's party, and John was at the party as well, and we just connected, and he knew some of the people at the party, and
she started Snapchatting me.
And my aunt at the party said to John, "You know how to drive a boat?" And he's like, "Yeah." So he took me on the Muskegon River because they had a place on the river, and then now it's called the River of Love.
Yep.
Well.
So yeah, I took her for
the spark started to fly. When you first said that, Colleen, that you went to your uncle's party, it reminded me of who was it? One of those comedians. He says, the guy that always says the redneck jokes.
Yeah,
you know you're a redneck when you go to a family.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm having a brain fart. What the hell's his name?
Yeah, no. Oh, anyways, we just connected and we just kept in touch. And then basically it was easier for me to make my way this way to the US than it was for John to come to Canada. So yeah. And I'm a former restaurant owner. I just recently sold my restaurant, and it was just kind of one of those things that it was all in the cards for me to come this way.
Yeah. Jeff Foxworthy was the comedian's name, by the way. All Train Coffee picked that up.
Yeah. But restaurateur, that's a hard way to make a living, eh? It's a tough
it is, but it was successful, and I'd been in food and beverage all my life, and it was just time for me to get out of it. So yeah, sold it off, and I did well. So it was good.
Yeah, I got a very good friend that has a very successful restaurant in Welland, and I'll tell you, every day he says, "You want to buy it? You want to buy it?"
And I mean, and not lying, I would not want to be in like as a restaurant owner now. Like it's just nobody wants to work. People understand, you know, a case of head lettuce is like $90. Like it's just ridiculous. You know what I mean? So yeah, no.
Yeah. So with that all being said, okay, so the two of you have become a couple now. How did it come about that the two of you started getting into backcountry adventuring, camping, paddling, whatever?
So in 2018, my brother lived out west. I'll just try to keep it as quick as possible. Anyways, he calls me up, or he actually texted me. This was in March. He goes, "Hey," I go, "What's up?" He goes, "Do you like Pearl Jam?" I'm like, "Yeah, I like Pearl Jam, a few of their songs." He's like, "Would you like to go? Guys want to go to a concert with us?" And he's talking to him about going with him and his wife. And I was like, I said, I'll talk to Colleen. I'll let y'all know. She comes home from work, and I texted her. I said, "Do you like Pearl Jam?" She goes, "Oh my gosh, I love Pearl Jam." I said, "Okay, cool." I texted him back, said, "Yeah, we'll be interested." Said, "Okay, Adele and I got to get put into a lottery. I'll let you know." All right. And a couple hours go by, and said, Dell got in. We got 4 tickets. I'm like, cool. So when you coming back over here to watch the concert? I had to go. He goes, "No, it's and I said, "Okay, where and when?" He goes, "August 11th, Safeco Field, downtown Seattle." I'm like,
road trip.
So she comes home. She comes home from work, and I go, "Do you want to go to a Pearl Jam?" She goes, "Oh, I'd love to go." It's like, cool, we're going. And then we planned that out. Says we got 2 options: you want to fly, or do you want to drive? And she thought about it for like 10 seconds. She said, "Let's drive."
Yeah.
And we did a worldwide trip of 14 days.
We did 10 states in 14 days.
5,500 miles.
Yep.
And we saw a bunch of stuff. Anyways, we were recording and documenting all of our excursions that we went to. You went to the Badlands, South Dakota, saw Rushmore, went to all kinds of places.
And it was the opportunity to kind of start out small. Do you know what I mean? Like we were car camping. We had
literally
big backpacks for our hiking excursions that we did.
Weighed 100 pounds.
But it was, do we like this? Do you know what I mean? And do we like sleeping in a tent? Do we like these freeze-dried meals? Do we like, having 1,000 pounds on your back?
And at the end of the trip, it's like, it was just awesome. And I said, well, let's keep on doing this.
Yeah. And then fine tuning it. And then kind of what we really, got to love and enjoy out of that. So that was kind of our first get together and takeaway of the taste of the outdoors together.
Yes. Because both of us grew up as kids. I always tented with my parents and gone, to the campgrounds and all that kind of fun stuff. And I did it with my young boys when they started growing up, did tenting and stuff. But, of course, boys get bigger, sports take over. And it's like, okay, that kind of goes to the wayside. And then doing this trip kind of rekindled everything. And then we just fed off of that and started doing more things. And then, of course, when all crap hit the fan, kind of, so to speak, and we had all this footage and documentary of our trip starting then, she's like, "I'm going to start a YouTube channel." I'm like
everybody else in 2020.
I was like,
I know, right?
So she said, "All right, well, we got to come up with a name." And I said, "All right." And then that's how we pondered it. I came up with the name. She came up with the logo, and here we are today.
Yeah.
Ta-da. Ta-da. I'm going to let Dustin DeWind ask the question that, I have it on my list here of things to ask. What's your favorite now, canoe, car, or hoofing it?
Ooh.
I'll answer.
This question had
I think we're both different.
Both different. I like canoeing. I like canoeing and my car, but I'll do a little bit canoeing over the car. Go ahead.
I'm a backpacker. Like I love it. I'm addicted to it. We just got done hiking, the 42 miles, right? The Pictured Rocks. My backpack was 23 pounds. Like we're so dialed in right now, and I'm ready for a bigger, longer trail.
Yeah.
I love it.
Seems like on your show, you tend to talk to a lot of hikers who are more so hikers than any other.
There seems to be a lot out there. For one, I don't want to say it's less expensive because it's really expensive to backpack, right? Like the gear and everything.
So lighter you go, the heavier, the more expensive it gets.
That's right. But I feel that the
hiking community is huge.
Yeah. You can always do a hike anywhere you are. Do you know what I mean? Not anybody can get in a canoe and paddle, right? So that kind of thing. It's more of a
going on a trek. It doesn't have to be 100 miles.
It doesn't have to be 100 miles, but I want to do 100 miles.
Sure. You do one of the big Atlantic trails that a lot of people
do.
I
don't know what's next. I don't know what's next on the list yet. I'm already starting to look. So I don't know yet.
Oh, I mean, we've been doing what we do and making the connections we had through your channel and are doing our backcountry couples and stuff like that, and being in the hiking community. It's like there is a plethora of options that people want us to. So you got to go try this trail. You got to go hike this trail. It's like, there's a ton of miles to catch up on.
So Dustin was right in asking that question. So that definitely is my favorite. But I mean, canoeing, that is a different vibe in its own self. You know what I mean? You
don't have to choose a favorite.
I know. I like it all. I like it all. Yeah. And then even overlanding, it gets us to a place where with all your stuff that, a little deeper further than you can maybe backpacking. So I think they're all great.
That'd be something. I'd love to connect with you guys and try the overlanding, because I'd like to learn a little bit more about that, because I have a 4x4, big F-150, right?
Yep.
And I got 4x4. If you could do it with your Subaru, I'm sure I could do it with my F-150.
100%.
Maybe not quite as tight some of the spots, but
most of our overlanding is, it's not, of course we have being a Subaru and stuff, it's not big, heavy rocks and boulder climbing and stuff like that. It's a lot of forestry roads, a lot of 2-tracks and sand trails and stuff like that, and that have been developed over the years by Michigan Forestry that we travel around on here, and outside of Michigan. You just gotta where to go and where not to go when it comes to those kind of lands.
And actually Ontario is becoming a pretty big overlanding spot now too. There's a whole group that I just found about overlanding in Ontario. You should check that out, definitely.
Yeah, I might have to look into that, because
you should. Yeah, it's really cool.
Even with my channel here, I'd love to, because I have canoe in the name of my channel. I really want to get more into a lot of the hiking and the backcountry camping and the bushcraft and a lot of the different outdoor activities that are available out there, because it's not solely a paddling channel, my channel, right?
Right.
And overlanding sounds like something that's pretty cool. Heck, I'd even like to get into geo-tracking and stuff like that. These are all cool different things that you could do to get outside and enjoy what's out there. So
yeah,
sure. You've got a ton of forestry roads in northern Ontario. You just
he's in southern Ontario, but
unfortunately, southern Ontario.
No,
but you get up there.
I know.
You get on a 2-track and you go deep in, and you can find an awesome spot along the river. Any one of your lakes up there as well. It's
look awesome. Into it. You're gonna love it.
One of our hot spots is the Manistee River here in Michigan, and there's so many 2-tracks to get to each part of that river, and it's a trout hot spot.
Right.
Go fishing and stuff like that. And we just kind of base camp it, and you can hike along the river, go up. Ton of fly fishermen that go out there and do that same stuff, and it's a lot of fun. Or just sit and chill and put your toes in the water and cool them off and just watch the fish swim by.
You can do that too, for sure.
I could see overlanding being actually a really relaxing trip, because you're driving in. You're not paddling in, you're not hiking it in, you're actually driving in, you find that nice spot. Yeah, that might be the way to do it, man.
I feel like overlanding though is almost like I call it a hybrid vacation, because you're getting to that destination, and more often than not, we'll bring our kayaks, right? So we're gonna kayak over. You're gonna bring your fishing gear. You might find a trail that we could do a day hike or something on. So there's that element of that, but then there's that base camp, right? So
yeah, I mean some of the overland and the forestry trails, they intertwine with the North Country Trail, so there's a lot of hiking around.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So your first real experience was road trip. Okay. What got you into the paddling, or not the paddling? Sorry, the hiking.
I'd have to say probably when we were hiking around in South Dakota.
Well, I think South Dakota, we had gone to the Olympic Mountains, right, up in Washington State, and we were just like, holy moly, like you can hike mountains, like how cool is that? Do you know what I mean? And then we're just like, what do we have in our own backyard? And there's a lot in Michigan, like quite a bit. And we were just like, all right, let's start, outfitting ourselves so we're, don't have 1,000 pounds. And it's a little more,
oh my gosh,
ergonomically like friendly to us.
That first little trip.
And we did our first hike that we were like, oh, we got this. You know what I mean? We're like, we're backpackers. When there's like stuff hanging off our backpacks.
Look like a
I remember one of your first videos like that. Yeah.
Oh, like it's crazy.
Pack weighed 60 plus pounds. And everything dangling off.
And we were like dying, and we're like, this is not fun. And then we did this loop, which is like, if we were to do it today, it'd be like nothing. Do you know what I mean? The Manistee River Trail.
Oh,
that first one.
That's 20.
That I like day number
23 miles.
Day number 2 of that trail, and my pack was like 55 pounds. I was like, this is not fun. I need to find a campsite right now. Like I am angry. Like I need to sit down. I need a fire. I need camp juice. Stop. Like this is it.
Boy,
you know what I mean?
She had a mean that day. Holy cow.
But I was like, it's supposed to be fun,
We hiked just under 11 miles that day.
But then it was just like, all right, now we know what we need, what we don't need. Was that me? Sorry.
That was you.
I'm sorry, hon. I thought I had that off. What we need, what we don't need. How can you improve it? And then we just really like jumped into
ultralight
backpacking. Yeah. And that's another learning curve in itself. You know,
some of these backpackers, like, well, they take it really serious. Like I had Jeremiah Stringer and
John Kelly.
They were on the show early last season, and we got to talking about a lot of the lightweight stuff and how like you guys like shave, like cutting toothbrushes in half. And
I'm not doing that.
Well, yeah, but that's what it takes to save ounces.
Yeah.
So I mean
it is
the dynamic through hikers do that. Those guys, they don't shave that kind of much away. But the through hikers, they micromanage every single ounce that's inside that pack. Right. So at any given day when they're hiking on their trail, they're like around under 15 pounds. That allows them to hike on an average anywhere. Some go anywhere from 6 to 16 miles a day.
But being ultralight,
or even 20 miles.
Right. I was going to say that's like nothing. But being ultralight, gets you deeper further. Like we went from a 5-pound tent to a 45-ounce tent.
Wow. Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's a huge difference there, right?
Yeah, like just things like that, right? So, and just like slowly started whittling things away, and does John really need an axe and like his
nope.
Egg
Colleen needs an axe, right?
I got a cool, sweet knife though. I should have grabbed it. It's so cool.
Yeah, John, you didn't catch that, eh? You don't need an axe, but Colleen does, right?
Get out of here. I got you.
so in the world of backpacking, right? Where does losing too much weight on your gear become? How do I say this? If you're canoeing and you got all your gear and everything's all comfortable, where's that line between your comfort and maybe your warmth and safety compared to weight? You follow me on that?
Yeah. And
so that is going to determine on how far you hike. I mean,
I think so.
We can. I mean, we could definitely put in heavier a heavier tent and our thicker sleeping bags, or to say our lower temperature sleeping bags,
right?
to accommodate, but that's just going to impede the amount of travel we do in a day. So, we can bump up to 40 plus pounds, to accommodate that stuff. But our travel distance would go down to probably 6-7 miles in a day compared to like on this last trip. We did 8 miles first day, 15 miles second day, 16 miles third day. And then we wrapped up with an easy 5 mile out the door on Saturday. So
which was like
more of an average. We would be more of that 5 to 6 mile range, being heavier to keep that comfort, to answer your question.
But I think the lesson that we've learned from going ultralight has made our backcountry experience for canoeing that much better. So when we were in Algonquin, the beginning of June, right? We took my 2 grown boys, and it was just, we were like, wow, this is way lighter than the last time. You know what I mean? So we really dialed in everything,
We packed the kitchen sink.
What the first time we went. Yeah, exactly. But I'm just saying now, you know what you need, what you don't need, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's been a good lesson, I think, to kind of cross over for the portaging and canoeing, because I love portaging. I love getting all that stuff in the paddles. Like, I just love that. Throw on the big dry sack and go.
You're one of the rare few that says, I love portages.
I love it.
Because you like hiking, right? So
right. It's exactly. I'm the hiking in between.
You keep her under 1,600 kilometers. She's like a pig in mud, happy as could be. But then when you get to 3K, she's like,
well, then I might just want to dial it back a little bit. Come on.
Right? It's funny that you say, it helps with the canoeing and stuff too. I always say, you know what? I got to lighten my pack. All my buddies call my backpack Big Red, because it's always the heaviest. It's because I have all the gear and I carry a vast majority of it. Why? Because they're all my comfort items. Why carry one comfort item when you can carry 2 or 3 or 4, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you being the gourmet chef in the backcountry.
But you're making like cinnamon rolls and pizza, and you've got like your reflector oven. I mean, it's gourmet stuff going on out there, right?
Well, you know what? You have to eat good. You have to keep the fuel. You have to keep fuel up so you can carry all that excess.
I agree. I agree. Oh yeah. And I mean, there's something about that for sure.
Half of my excess weight's right here around my midriff. So. If I could lose that, I'd be a lightweight canoeer too. So, yeah. Let's see here. We got a question here from Richard West is asking, what's your favorite camp juice?
Tequila.
Richard, it's tequila.
Tequila, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And are you mixing that with anything? Are you making some sort of cocktail? Straight up, eh?
Just straight up little nippy nip when you get to camp. And unfortunately, this last trip, I actually wasn't feeling great. So I was on a little bit of medication, and we didn't take any camp juice with us, but we could use some.
Oh yeah, definitely after day 3. Holy moly.
Yeah.
So now watching your show, I always see when you have hikers on, I always hear you all talking about your trail names. Do you two have trail names?
Colleen,
I do now.
Do you? Okay.
Yes.
She got.
So wait a minute. There's a rule. You can't give your own trail name, right? Somebody else on trail.
Don't let the beginning.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you talking, honey?
Yeah, no
kidding. Okay, go ahead. I'll listen.
She got a trail name this past week. Yeah, I doned her to her, but yes, go ahead. Continue with your sentence. By all means.
So yes, you can't give your own trail name, right? And you have to like your trail name. You can't be called like Sir Farts a lot, and then you go, I don't like that. You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm just saying, right?
Could be.
You know what I mean? Everybody can relate to that. So no. But we were out in Montana, right? We did our big 3-week trip in September, which is like, crazy grizzly bear, like whatever. Obviously we have our bear spray. But we ended up getting some bear bells. And I had a bear bell attached to the back of my backpack. And I'm just editing, actually, this video started today. And at the very beginning of the video, John's like, okay, Tinkerbell, let's get on there. And I didn't even register. And then the last day.
We were just hiking along, and she's just sitting there.
No, day number 2.
Was it day 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think day 2. And she's hiking along, and she's going, tink, 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 Tink the bell, and I think, oh my gosh, Tinkerbell. And I said it clicked right there. And I said, that's your trail name. She's like, what? I said, your trail name is going to be Tinkerbell. She goes, I don't like that. There's probably another Tinkerbell. I said, okay, then how about Tink?
And I'm like, yes.
So this is,
and I love my Bearbell.
This is Tink.
Yeah.
That's her trail
name. So
name.
I have a trail name. Isn't that fun?
That is cool. Congrats.
Thank you.
I know it's an accomplishment, but now I have to send you a picture of my daughter's license plate.
Okay.
Which is Tink 8.
Stop it.
Yeah, really. She loves Tinkerbell, right?
Oh, then there you go.
We bought her personalized plates, and Tinkerbell we couldn't get on the plate for whatever reason, so we put Tink, right? And it's got, Ontario, we got the heart, right?
Yep.
It's this heart Tink 8. So there you go.
Oh my God, that's too cute.
Congratulations, that's awesome. How about you, Johnny? You got a trail name?
I have yet to be deemed a trail. I have yet to get a trail name yet.
Yeah, but he gave somebody else a trail name in July of this year already too.
Yeah, she
we backpacked with a couple that we had met on the show.
Yep.
From Michigan, actually.
And we were on the trail, and she was talking about her homemade remedies of I think it was bug spray and some other things, and it just she said it smelled or tasted like, no, it smelled like pickle juice and stuff like that. And I said, and she did. She was spraying it on her. It's like, man, that really does smell. I said, that's your trail name. Your pickles. That's it.
And she loved it.
And
so we called her Pickles for the rest of the weekend.
Well, it's still, you still
and
call
we
her
still call her Pickles. Yeah.
So it just
cool.
it's a moment. It's something that happens, on your trip in some way, shape, or form, and someone has to get it and click.
Yep.
Well, that's cool. Yeah. So it has to fit. And that's kind of how I got this up here, Canoe Hound. I didn't pick that name.
Who gave you that name?
On one of our canoe trips there, we my dad, when I used to take my dad canoeing, he used to get up every morning, he'd go to the water's edge and he'd yell like Tarzan. No word of a lie, right?
Okay.
Oh, that's awesome.
And being the son and idolizing my dad, I kind of started that after he stopped canoeing with us, just to carry on tradition. And one of my cousins says to me, blah blah blah. He goes, would you shut the F up, you canoe hound, or something like that, right? And it kind of stuck, right? Yeah. So,
okay.
I like it.
Yeah, because they didn't like me waking them up with my dad's call. So.
Now, when you're on your trips, do people say, "Go, hey Dennis," or are they going, "Hey canoe hound"?
For the most part, it's Dennis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, or hey you, or
where's coffee?
A couple other things I can't say here.
Little terms of endearment.
Right?
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So, and after that, they were kind of stuck, and this has been around for years and years and years, right? So, yeah. Got a question here too from probably Tim over there at Super Good Camping. There's a great couple to have on your show. I don't know if they've been on your show.
I got you.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
they want to know how did you get to have guests from other countries to stay up until about 4 a.m. their time, because your first season went on. Your first show of the season was like one of my regular shows that went on for like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and you had so many guests on.
Which one?
So our comeback show kind of thing, because everybody wanted to like say, hey, we should all kind of connect again, so like to see how we've been doing our first recap, and
we had Grunzo Explorers on.
So they're from Denmark.
Yep.
And they reached out to us, and we had them on the show obviously first last season.
Yep. They're Subaru people.
And they're Subaru people. They're overlanders. They're hikers. They're foragers. Like they're just super awesome.
Thomas and
Mona.
Mona. She's like an awesome forager
and
photographer.
And they were thrilled to be able to stay up late and be on the show. And I was just like, "Are you kidding? Are you sure?" I said, "We can record it." They're like, "No, we want to do it live." I was like, "Okay."
So yeah, it was 1 a.m. their time.
Yeah.
Right.
And which was it was 7 o'clock our time. So
right.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it went fast, and they did great, and so we would love to do something with them again. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all you got to do is reach out to them sometimes. Like I had Ray Goodwin on last year. It was like really late for him. I had a German bushcrafter in my first season was on. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning when he was on, right?
Yeah.
Another young girl, Millie from Bushcraft Daughter, she was on. And
yes, that was just about to say Bushcraft Daughter, right?
Yeah. And like, you know what? They're more than happy. A lot of them are YouTubers that they want to reach out. They want to branch out, right?
And connect with new people.
Right.
Yeah,
We've seen outdoors in the chat once in a while.
YouTube has bubbles, it seems, right? Like, because you watch content that's, say, North American or sort of confined to our area, so Ontario, Michigan in your case, and stuff like that, right? To try and get content from outside of that bubble is a little more difficult. You really have to search. Like, there's way more canoers and hikers and backpackers and stuff all around this world, but we seem to get this concentration of the people that we watch
that are close. That's right.
And like, you watch what I watch and so on, right? So it's hard. So you got to try and break out of that bubble. And that's why I always put out the feelers to my viewers. Is like, if you have ideas, like you may have somebody that you watch, I want to know about it, because it gives me something new to watch as well, right?
It's so true. And I think that's what we did with ours too.
When we connect with Grunzo, they were, that was, I think our first link was through the Instagram. Because Instagram has got a huger platform, or a more
Subaru.
It doesn't have that bubble like YouTube does. So I mean, when you join a group, lifted, I'm part of like Lifted Subarus, Subaru International, Subaru Motorsports.
He's in all these little groups and stuff.
You post something in there, you tag it and stuff like that. All these, people from other countries. I mean, I'm friends with people in Chile and in the UK and Germany, and because of the common love of the Subarus,
right? But I think, Dennis, you said it. You said, you're not just canoeing. It's all the other facets that you're doing, and that's what people kind of reached out to us and said, you know what, like Backcountry Couples might just not be a romantic thing. Like maybe it's a couple who have a partnership together, or they're business partners, or it's brothers, a father and son, or sisters, or your best friends. And we were just like, we never even thought of that. And then now it's just been like, it's crazy. So, which is great. So you tapped into a whole new thing. I just want to shout out somebody in the chat. There is Alan Bierhoff. He's always sending me emails with suggestions of different shows and topics and stuff like that. And I love that, because I love getting that feedback from people as to what to see. Well, I mean, go ahead. I was gonna say, and I mean, like Alan, he's watching the show, so he wants to see these people on there too, right? So it's a vested interest. Yeah, like he just sent me an email the other day about these guys in the UK who come over, and they did a 10-day canoe trip over in Algonquin. And I had been watching the series already from one of the guys. I think it's called, the channel's Adventures Made. Okay. And then he sent me an email about Easy Adventures, I think it's called. Okay. It's actually Eze, E-Z-A, or E-Z-E, right? Eze. And it's the same trip. So it's like, our guys, like next week's guest, John from Lost Lakes, and Xander Budnick. And so you get to watch John's video and Xander's video, and you get to see both their takes on that trip, right? And that's what I'm watching right now. And I'm reaching out to these guys to see if they want to be on the show, to come and share why these guys in the UK come all the way down to Ontario, to Algonquin Park, to paddle for 10 days. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. That's very cool. I mean, our first Algonquin trip, we friended a couple of guys from Belgium.
Yeah, and they did the same loop we did.
They did the same loop we did, and then the following year they went up and did the Yukon River.
Like it was crazy. Yeah.
So
how fun is that?
And we still follow them on Instagram and keep in touch. Hans and starts with a T.
Thomas.
Yes.
There you go. What a couple of you guys are, eh? That you can always finish each other's sentences. It's like one of them, right?
We just click, don't we?
Oh, you're so darn cute, honey.
Look at that.
Kicking me under the table.
I am not kicking you under the table.
How do they know?
They don't, but I'm not.
Oh, wait, let me pan down. I could do that.
Yeah, right.
No, I had a really cool experience here this past weekend at the Winter Camping Symposium too.
Yeah.
I went to I went and did the Donald Lake Loop in Northern Ontario, like sort of the southwestern edge of Temagami area, and it was just a quick solo trip, 4-day trip. And on one of the portages, I met this couple and their little girl, and I was talking with them and stuff. And, got some video, asked the little girl, you like canoeing? She really likes it and stuff like that. And I asked mom and dad, I said, well, when I put the video out, do you mind if I have your daughter in the video? And they said, no, for sure. Right. So I'm at the show here on the weekend, and this gentleman comes up to me, very heavy French accent. And he goes, I met you on a portage this year. And I go, wait a minute, who did I meet on portages? Right. And then I remembered his accent, and then we got to talking. It happened to be this fella, right? And
what a small world.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's so I got to meet these people twice, right? So now we're in contact and stuff. And he's actually a mapper, so he produces maps.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And you know what? He's probably telling the same story. I was portaging and I met this guy, and you know what I mean? So how sweet is that?
Yeah, that's some cool stuff, right? So yeah, for sure. So you guys do some paddling. You said you were up at Algonquin. Let's talk a bit about your paddling experiences. What type of paddling do you like to do? Any whitewater in there? Is it just basically roots, loops?
Yeah, roots and loops. Yeah, we're not on the whitewater, thing. We've encountered light class ones,
right? Yeah.
But
that's me. That is so me. Don't even.
Yeah,
it's her to a T. Or put your hands down. Put your paddle back in.
And I know I want to grab the gunnels or up my hand, and he's like, stop. I know. John had never really been canoeing. I was lucky enough to go to Camp Queen Elizabeth as a kid up in Beausoleil Island, right by Honey Harbor.
God save the Queen.
And yes, God save the Queen. God save the King. Now, come on.
Yep.
And so I'd always had that bit of canoeing background. And then when we got together, we bought kayaks, which are so much fun. You have a kayak?
No, I have a pack boat. I had 2 kayaks, but I sold those.
Oh, okay. 'Cause I thought you did. So there's a lot of kayaking opportunities here in Michigan, a lot of really some cool river systems for sure.
Sure.
But canoeing, there's lakes to canoe here. There's a few little spots where you can do the portaging into lake to lake. Not so much though over here. So Ontario or the Boundary Waters or Quetico or all that kind of all up in there is definitely more kind of what we want to get into as far as paddling.
Right. Yeah, we want to get up to the Boundary Waters this next season. So
I'm hoping.
And of course, we're already working on our next trip for Canada with her 2 guys. We haven't decided.
We don't know what we're doing yet, but
we haven't decided if we're going to go to the northern part of Algonquin or maybe go into Temagami or even do the French River.
We don't know yet.
So
yeah,
but it was fun to take them along too. So
and the dog
and the puppy, yeah.
Dre was awesome.
You got a dog?
No, my son's dog. So my kids are 32 and 28, and they went to Camp Queen Elizabeth as when they were kids too, and they just love the outdoors. And it was just really cool to see them jump into action. They knew everything. They were like, "Don't get in the boat like that. Come on!" Or paddle faster. Let's go.
It's like riding a bike. It took 2 strokes, and
it was just amazing.
Back in the saddle.
So
and Dre was awesome. Dre was awesome. He just
hated the water, but he was a canoe puppy.
He got in the canoe and he did perfect.
Yeah, it was good.
He was a little skittish at first, probably 100 yards, and after that he was just laying on top of the packs like it was just a sunny afternoon.
Yeah. And that trip up to Algonquin was incredible. We kind of ran out of time. We went up to Huntsville, so we ran in and we met up with Nate and said kind of hey to him, grab some Lake of Bay beer.
Oh yeah.
We were supposed to meet Rob and Sabrina from Ontario Camping Couple. We were just so short on time, to get to the outfitter. But it still was a pretty successful, fun trip for sure.
Totally.
Yeah. Here's another guest or somebody else that was at the show, I believe, Jonathan there. Jonathan, actually, when I was talking to that gentleman there, he was standing in behind there, so that was pretty cool. Good to see you there too, Jonathan. Thanks.
Hey,
cool.
Fun.
Yeah. I remember when you guys first got your Hunter and Harris canoe paddles.
Yes.
That was for our very first trip to Algonquin together.
Yeah.
We were so stoked because we chatted with Milan
and his lovely wife
Mira.
Mira. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, we were we went and we actually were privileged enough to be able to stop at his home shop, and
it was so great.
Sat there. I think we were there for almost an hour and a half.
I know, he was just chatting with the paddles, and it's his craft, and he was excited, and we were happy to get 2 custom paddles, and they're beautiful. Like they hang on our wall, like it's a piece of art.
I'm looking at them right now.
You know.
They're made to use. He doesn't want to hear about them hanging.
Well,
on
I know.
walls.
Oh no, they're beat up. Like they're scrap. They look good.
Oh yeah,
they look good, but they have stories.
And yours are the ones you got are they're like the laminated ones, right? Like you've got.
Yes.
Yep.
Exactly.
So it's cherry, birch, and
beech
walnut.
Walnut. Yeah.
But they're hold on to them paddles, because I'm not sure that Milan is actually making paddles anymore. I've been trying to reach out to him of late and haven't heard anything back. And I think his website is down. So, but it's a shame because Milan is a fantastic paddle maker.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my God, gorgeous!
Beautiful craftsman.
Yeah, feel so privileged to have those, like 100%. Yeah.
I've got a couple.
He's not doing paddles for Novacraft anymore.
You know what? I'm not quite sure. I won't go out on a limb to say, but he was a sponsor of the show last year, and when I reached out this year, I've heard nothing back, and his Instagram is down, and his website is down. So maybe, I don't know. It's a tough business. It's a tough business, making paddles day in, day out, right?
Right on.
And, people don't want to pay what the true value of those things are, because there's a lot of craftsmanship and time that goes into them. It's not like you're pumping them out, one a minute, right?
Right on.
Just a couple hours for a paddle is, put your hourly wage on that and then profit, right? So
sure.
I know.
I hope he's okay and his family's fine and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I hope the same thing too, because Milan and Amir are fantastic people. You got great kids. And
100% on that one.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you do hear anything, just let me know, would you?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we love canoeing.
Yeah. Yeah. So what you said boundary waters, but are there any other trips that you'd like to take?
For canoeing?
Yeah.
Well, we just got Kevin's latest second edition for the French River. So, I mean, I've gotten my eye on that. She's looking at something else.
I don't know. We're
going to have to flip a coin on this one. Either that or...
Well, you can do both.
That's the whole thing. So people, like, for example, like from September to like now, we've missed out on so many trips that people that I can't believe you're not here. How come you can't make it or whatever? But right now is when we start planning for next year, right? Like I'm just telling you,
kind of, sort of.
Like we already have things, like we just booked our CanoeCopia, for example, right? So we've got that in the book already. We just booked our down south trip already. You know what I mean? So like it all starts falling into place. So yeah.
I'm kind of bummed about CanoeCopia. The year I was supposed to go, me and my buddy Ingo, was COVID shut that down, right?
Yeah.
And heck, I think the first one that they had since, right? Our passes were still good. I still got my bracelets upstairs because I couldn't go, right? It was we couldn't cross the border yet.
It sucked.
So,
I know.
But I'd really love to get down to CanoeCopia.
I think it's going to be bigger and better, like for 2023, right?
Yeah.
So, and I guarantee you, I'm sure. Who's Rutabaga Sports guy? Why can't I think of what his name is?
Darren Bush.
Yeah. I bet you he would honor your bracelet. He'd be so happy to have you come down.
Yeah, you know what? It is what it is, right? But you know what? My airline tickets are still good through Delta Air because we were going to fly out of Buffalo. But they're good till the end of this year.
I like that.
I might have to go just jump on a plane, fly down to Florida and back just to say I used the tickets, right?
It's a fun weekend. Do it.
Sure.
I thought I would just fly to Florida, jump back on the plane, come back.
I'll get out of here.
I love airline food, right? So.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
Grab your bubba and let's go.
Oh, right. I know exactly.
That's crazy. So we still need to talk about overlanding and stuff a little bit more, because that there sounds of something that's really interesting to me. What kind of got you into that? Was that something that?
It started with a sticker.
With a sticker.
Yeah, so I'm putting a vinyl sticker on the side of the car of the Kuehl Kuest logo. So it's like,
Yeah.
Well, it said, this is our branding. It's like, well, this is our car, so let's, put our logo on. So we had a logo made up by our local vinyl shop here and put it on there. And then, and Colleen made a suggestion, I think, to it's like, well, we should Instagram that, or even better, we can make up an Instagram page for the Subaru or something. I said, okay. When I just started taking a couple pictures of the car in different angles, nighttime, daytime, that sort of thing, and I started looking through Instagram different Subarus, and I come across all these mods and these lifted Subarus, and it's like, holy cow. And that's another old rabbit hole.
It's a rabbit hole. Exactly.
Yeah. It's like a boat, eh? Break out another 1,000. You can just keep throwing money into it.
That's spot on there. So we put the sticker on. And then the next thing was, coming up with a name for the vehicle for the Instagram page.
Oh, yes, it's good.
So I came up with Jack Forester. So we have a 2012 Subaru Forester, and then I came up with Jack, which stands for Jonny and Colleen Kuehl.
Isn't he smart?
Man, you are the trail name master. You are. The guy who doesn't have his own trail
works.
name.
I put it together. So I came up with Jack Forester, and then when I was looking at everybody's builds and stuff like that, I said, well, we needed to think about this and how we're going to do it and do it the right way and not the wrong way. So, so the first thing was to beef up the suspension with heavier duty shocks, spring and shocks and springs, and then put skid plates all the way underneath to protect the engine, transmission, and the rear differential. If we do come across that, but like I said, the majority of our travels here are in state forest roads, forest roads, not state forest roads. What started with that, and then building Jack from the inside out. So thinking of safety, recovery, that so to speak, instead of getting all the fancy bling, like, the off-road lights, putting on a winch down the road, or, upgrading your roof rack, getting the tire swing we did. So I started with the mentality of let's think of safety. So I got a really big first aid kit that, takes care of everything. And I didn't get a boo-boo one. We got a bigger one. And then thinking of putting in a fire extinguisher. Well, we have 2 fire extinguishers in the car. We have one that is powderless, which is designed for electrical fires. So if, for example, one of us or one of our patrons on trail, they have an electrical file under the hood, and, they bust an oil line or something, hits on the engine block, starts a fire. Well, you can put the fire out easily without making a huge mess with your regular ABC fire. And then we do have an ABC in the back of the car. These are well anchored. And that's for, in case of an out of control campfire or someone has a cooking mishap.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
But I never have.
It's really rigged out. Eh? Have you ever done a video on just how you got the car prepped?
I did a short. I think I did a short one.
You did, but so much has changed. We should probably do another walk around video.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
So that was the mental aspect of building the safety, getting recovery shackles, toe straps, stuff like that before, as we so-called, bling it out on the outside. So once that was all done and saved our money up, we got the invested into the tire swing on the back, so
which is really super cool.
Mounts our rear tire. Got a 11-pound propane tank back there, and then we have a flip down table when the tire swings out, and so it sets up our nice little kitchen area. Wow. Then we put a fridge in it. We put a little pantry system. Got off-road lights,
and we have an outdoor shower.
And we got
off the Subaru.
So there's on the
Forester. Wow.
Yep.
So on the passenger side, there's it's called Kick-Ass. The company's called Kick-Ass Products, and it's an opened up
it's
shower
pretty
stall,
fancy.
and then we have a tankless water heater that we mount to the roof rack off to the side, and so we can have a shower in the backcountry.
That is so cool. Wow, man. Who needs a teardrop trailer when you got all that, right?
Wow.
Oh, did I open it? Okay. Did I?
we're in the planning stages of having a
square drop.
It's called a square drop built. It's
being custom for us.
Yeah. One of our overland friends, his name's Dan, and he's a part of Blue Water Overland on the east side of the state. He built his custom trailer, and he's going to do one for us.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Very cool. Wow.
Yeah.
So
we things are neat. I've always liked the little teardrop trailers.
Oh yeah, they're great.
That would fit right within my
Oh yeah, you guys would love it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I mean, small enough,
and
the weight is a key factor for us because the Subaru can only we can probably tow a little bit more because we have the beefed up suspension, but a standard Subaru can only tow up to 1,500 pounds, which is not much,
right?
With a 200-pound tongue weight. But with the beefed up springs and suspension, I could probably go to like 300 to 400 pounds on the tongue and maybe 1,800 pounds towing. Sure. But we're gonna we think with the material that we're going to use in this construction and how we're going to outfit it, we can be right around probably 1,200 pounds.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
So we're right where we want to be.
I'm excited.
Awesome. Well, you know what? We're at the 8 o'clock hour. I'm just going to give us a quick little break here, a little commercial break to recognize my sponsors. And then we'll come back with a swag giveaway, and then we'll get into talking a little bit more about your Backcountry Couples show and maybe a little more overlanding, because I don't think we're done there yet.
Oh, no.
Sounds good.
See you right after the break. You got a minute and a half, guys.
Sounds good.
There's nothing like being out there. For over 50 years, we've been connecting people with nature by building classic Canadian canoe designs using the best materials available. We built a reputation on durable, dependable canoes that allow you to focus on what's important, whether that's unplugging in remote wilderness, spending quality time with your favorite people, or nailing the perfect line. Visit novacraft.com to find the perfect canoe for you and locate your nearest authorized dealer.
Tonight's episode of CanoeHounds Outdoor Adventure Show is brought to you by OTG Meals, fresh, freeze-dried, small batch meals made for people on the go. Algonquin Outfitters, with 4 key locations in and around Algonquin Park to serve your backcountry needs. Kid Products, stick stoves and reflector ovens proudly made in Canada. And Novacraft Canoes, connecting you with nature in Canadian-made canoes since 1970.
Well, welcome back. This is the segment of the show here where I'm just going to do my little blurb for OTG Meals, the OTG Meals of the week. Kind of hard for me to go with one OTG meal of the week because this past weekend I actually met Randy over at the Ontario Winter Camping Symposium, and I picked up a lot of meals. Things like, let's see here, we got all kinds of neat things on the menu. We got vegetarian chili, we've got chicken broccoli bake, mac and cheese, shepherd's pie. We have to swat the table when I'm all done here. And several others, beef stroganoff, chicken dinner. My goodness, chicken Alfredo, a lot of chicken dishes. You think I like chicken or something, right? Chicken mac and cheese. And beef lasagna. And I've also got cabbage roll soup. All kinds of great meals from OTG Meals. If you're ever looking for some really fresh, freeze-dried meals, sounds like an oxymoron there, but fresh freeze-dried meals, because these things are all done in small batch. Check them out at otgmeals.com. No, otgmeals.ca. And you know what? Pick up a few. They're great. They have a long shelf life, and they taste really, really good. So otgmeals.ca. Anyways, let's get back with Jonny and Colleen here, and we're going to do a little swag giveaway, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand you have a few goodies that you're going to be giving away.
We do.
Yeah. So we have a
okay.
so for our Backcountry Couple show, we have the the honor to have Mickwick Fires as our sponsor for the show. He's been our sponsor. This is our second season, and he's awesome. And we're adventurers part for his company. So,
and if anybody hasn't heard of a Mickwick, these are so cool. They're handcrafted, right? They're all natural. They're made here in the Pacific Northwest, right? Here in the US. There's no harmful chemicals. There's no wood byproducts.
No.
They're compact, obviously. They're lightweight, and they're waterproof, which is amazing. So we actually sent Dennis some, so I'm excited for you to try them, which is going to be great. And we've actually
burn for 20 minutes.
They do. So they have a 20-minute burn, and we actually made a fire with wood that was covered in snow, and it was incredible. So these are amazing. We love them for backpacking, for anything they slide. We took them on our canoe trips, right?
Keep in mind, it's still the same thing. Small process.
Build your fire.
Build your fire.
You know what I mean?
You ain't gonna start a log that's been in the snow like that thick.
Right.
Small material, work your way up. But it does, and we've had other people on the show that testify to that.
Yeah, but they are fabulous. So we're gonna contribute to the swag giveaway today, if that's okay.
Yeah, for sure. So what have you got then?
So we have a huge.
It's a 20 weekend.
Oh, you can't see it. You can't really
pack.
see it because there's a lot. There's a lot of green in it. So it's a huge 20 pack.
It's a 20 pack. We got a Mickwick t-shirt. Yep.
You're gonna get a Kuehl Kuest patch that glows in the dark.
Oh, it's so cool. You're gonna love that.
Sticker,
Mickwick sticker too.
Is that an iron-on patch?
Say that again.
Is that an iron-on patch?
No, this is
not. It's the one you put like on your roof, like all the Overlanders do.
It's a hook and loop. It's Velcro.
Okay.
Hook and loop. I can't say.
Oh,
Velcro.
you can't say. So funny. Anyway, so that's what we want to contribute to someone today.
Awesome. And I will also add to that a CANOEHOUND'S Outdoor Adventure Show prize pack, which consists of a bunch of patches, decals, and a bunch of other goodies from some of our sponsors. And tonight's question is, and please don't put the answers in the live stream there, except, well, just look over Jonny and Colleen's head because so everybody gets the answer really easy. What's the name of Jonny and Colleen's weekly live stream show? And you could email your answer to me at coaspride@gmail.com. If you could send that in by Friday at 11, because Jonny and Colleen will be in Canada. And if they're in Canada and they know who the winner is, they can send it from Canada rather than having to go through all the border stuff.
That's a true story.
You'll get a lot quicker.
Yes.
Yeah. So drop me an email at COASPrize with the answer. I'll leave that on the screen here for a couple of minutes, and we will get back into our conversation. We left off at overlanding, right? About talking about your sweet ride. What happens when you have to trade Jack in? You got all that sweet gear on there.
So that conversation has come up, but he would get stripped down. Everything that is on him and in him, other than probably the suspension, will come off. So I mean, nothing's bolted on there permanently, so to speak.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, our trails, our tail swing with our tire swing on it, our tire and everything, that is just mounted into our trailer hitch that can easily pop off.
Mm-hmm.
All of our off-road lights, those are easily can be unbolted and unwired, pulled out, so we can transfer that to another vehicle if need be.
Yeah.
The skid plates, I probably would either keep them on or sell them off right in the Subaru marketplace. But yeah, the only thing that would, like I said, would be just the springs and shocks and the lift.
Well, the one good thing they say, and they always, I hear the commercials here on our side of the border always saying about Subarus, that something about 96% of Subarus that were on the road are still on the road.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Really interesting fact. Like they say that in their commercials, right? So that's it's got to be a reliable vehicle. Yeah,
they are.
And for the most part, I mean, it's just like any other manufacturer. They do have their quirks and stuff like that, but Subaru owners are different, and they love them, and we just keep fixing them up and keep plugging away.
That's true.
Cool. hopefully everybody's got that question and the email address, coasprize@gmail.com. Make sure you drop your answers in. I'll put this back up at the end of the show again. Is the car stick or auto?
Automatic, unfortunately.
Automatic?
I would love to have a stick, but yeah, this one's an automatic.
That's cool. That's cool.
I don't really care.
Because you don't drive.
I don't drive.
She's a pedestrian.
Oh, really? You don't drive at all?
I've never driven a day in my life.
No,
not even a beer cart.
Not even not even like the golf cart, like nothing.
Wow. No wonder she likes hiking.
She's
used to it. She's been doing it all her life, right?
Literally, there's one of our Subaru friends made her a sticker specifically to put on the passenger side window. It says pedestrian on it.
It's so funny. It's cute.
That's cool. That's cool. We had a question earlier just before here from somebody that I've actually seen on your show. All Terrain Coffee and Camping. I believe I've seen them on your show. I think they're
Jason.
Hey. Do you eat better, as in yummier, when overlanding, canoe camping, or backpacking?
Well,
overlanding.
So, but on that note, usually our first day of whatever we're doing is always fresh. It's always steak and asparagus, or you know what I mean? Like we're hauling a frozen steak and we have our own little, grate that we bring in. And so we usually
bitty barbecue.
And we have that, the bitty big bar. What's it called?
Bitty barbecue.
Bitty big barbecue. No big.
Yeah, the one
I don't know.
We saw. I saw that on. I saw it on Heather and Ted Baird's channel. It's like I love that grill, and I decided I had to have it, so I picked one up, and I love it.
So I mean, when we go, on a canoe trip, we always bring as much fresh as we possibly can, right? Backpacking is usually the same thing. Usually day one is fresh.
Yeah.
But overlanding, I mean, we can get pretty fancy pants with overlanding.
Oh yeah, because I got a fridge in the back of the car.
Because we have a fridge. Do you know what I mean? Like it's pretty crazy. So we actually met up with one of our guests from our show. We met them kind of up in the UP, so kind of halfway for both of us. And they're
live to day one.
And they're pretty good cookers themselves. Like they kind of pride themselves. And I was like, no, I'm pulling all the restaurant stops. So we were getting there before them. And I was like, we're doing the whole thing. So we had like mojitos, we had appetizers, we had like dinner, we had dessert. It was crazy.
Oh yeah, so it was pretty gourmet.
Yeah, it was pretty fancy pants for sure.
Now, being a former restaurateur, are you primarily the meal provider, Colleen?
No, I mean John's a great cook. I'm a great sous chef. I pour a hell of a good glass of red wine. And, right,
keeps the chef's cracked beer
open.
That's
right. I make sure he's well hydrated. Yeah,
absolutely.
No, it's a good collaboration. That's I know.
Gotta hear this. Everybody gotta hear this.
I know. Cheers. There you go.
Cheers.
I know.
Little moose head.
You got a moose.
It's moose head. Yep.
I know that can.
Oh,
isn't that what you have in your hand in the intro?
I do, and that's an old intro. Where's the new intro?
I know I haven't had a chance to put the new intro, but you guys, there was only one other new video that come through for that. So
gotcha.
I'll change it out one day.
Yeah, you're all good. I see that Darren put in there. It is the bitty big Q, so it was big. Okay, thanks, Darren.
Yeah, no, those things I seen them on Heather and Ted's channel as well. Actually, they had it in their most recent video. Are they heavy? They look kind of bulky.
They're probably small, totally packed down is about that size, and I want to say it's just a hair over a pound, so it's a little on the heavy side if you're to take it backpacking stuff, but for canoeing or a short backpacking trip, I think
it was fine.
That thing is
honestly,
awesome.
It was
so
easy
because it collapsed down so tight and then it expands so big, you can fit 2 huge steaks on it, and on a half a pound of asparagus, no problem.
Yeah, and they're actually made in Canada too.
Oh, is that right? I didn't know
they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
They really push it on their channel, so I wonder if they're almost like a sponsor of their channel.
I think they are, or at least
have a relationship, right?
Get to share maybe a discount with them or something. So that's really nice.
Yeah,
for sure.
I love that little thing. That when I saw it, it's like, gotta get it.
Well, I think that's the other thing that we try to do too, is that at the end of the year, we go, okay, what's worked for us? What hasn't worked for us? What do we need? What can we improve on? I'm sure you do the same thing. You kind of like debrief over your gear, right? So that was one of the things we got last year. And then we actually just got a new piece of gear that we wanted to get before our previous backpacking trip. The
spoons?
Nope, the thermo.
The thermal drop?
Thermo drop. Have you seen that before?
No, I haven't.
It's just a little
pendant
little pendant keychain thermometer. So you keep let you know what the ambient temperature is outside. So in case you don't have phone signal or whatnot, you wonder, think, well, what's the temperature? I was like, oh
yeah, so it's pretty cool. I like that. We just
49
got that.
degrees.
Yeah. Earlier in the show, we were talking about comfort items on camping trips. What are your preferred comfort items? Both of you must have something that is a must bring. And I mean, aside from like carrying like your plate and your cup type of deal.
Oh yeah, no. I'm my chair. I like my chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have the Helinox Zeros, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, so they weigh nothing. And we got custom little bags made from Hilltop Pack. So mine is a Canadian flag, and John's is a United States flag. So that's kind of nice. We have those.
Get some.
But our backpacks always have the little seat, cushion things in the back too, so you can always pull that out. But mine is definitely the chair. I
would have to probably agree. When it comes to backpacking or hiking, tracking, definitely the chair is a luxury item.
It is.
It is not as essential, but it's definitely a luxury item. One thing I'd like to carry, but I don't, is I like my double-walled coffee mug.
That's true too.
It keeps your coffee warmer longer, especially in the colder nights. But that's just added weight, and just drink your coffee faster.
But I might have a new luxury item coming up because winter camping is starting. Yeah. And we're looking into booties, like little down booties.
Okay, yeah.
So we're looking into those. So those might be my new little fun thing.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm with you, Colleen. I really like to have a chair on the trips nowadays. I used to be able to just sit on the ground and stuff like that, or back against a tree or a log, but yeah, it's harder to get up. 58 years old now. It's like,
I'm right there with you.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I see we got a guest in the basement. I'll be right with you, so don't go away.
Okay.
You mentioned winter camping. Do the two of you winter camp, or have you ever tried it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we cold camp.
We cold camp, so we don't have a hot tent.
Not yet.
We don't have a camper.
No, not yet. So we just use our heavier tent. So we have our MSR Mother Hubba tent, and we have negative 40 degree marmot sleeping bags. So
negative 40. They're like this thick.
It's like sleeping in a big pillow.
It's crazy, but they're so warm. Like it's incredible.
Just about.
Are they like a mummy style?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I have such a hard time with mummy bags. I've got a really good mummy bag I've had for years, and I just can't sleep in it. I get claustrophobic, man.
It's tough.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Yeah, it took a little bit adjusting to get to because our regular bags are a little bit wider, but within those cold temperatures, I mean, this was March this year.
It was this February or March.
February. It was negative 12 Fahrenheit. Which is what?
I don't know. It was
negative
cold.
30.
It was cold. Everybody's water froze. Like our beer, our lips were sticking to our beer can. You know what I mean?
So
it was bad.
Right? You know it's cold as soon as you crack a cold one. It turns to slush.
And it's a slushy beer. Like get out of here.
Oh yeah.
I know.
But they're very, very nice to keep us warm. But no, it's part of my research as of late is looking into getting a hot tent.
Yeah. So that's kind of maybe the next.
Yeah, on your side of the border, you'll probably be looking at the Snow Tracker, right?
Actually, there's quite a few manufacturers. Snow Tracker is one on the top of the list, but
and their wait list is stupid. It's like 6 months right now.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Oh, it's so nuts.
There's another company that we're looking at. It's called the Wall Tent Shop. It's literally called the Wall Tent Shop, and they've gotten great reviews. And their canvas tents, and you can customize it any way you want. If you don't want a window on this side, you want a window on this side, window on the back. You want a screen on the front. I said you can how big you want, whether be. I think the one we're looking at, I think is like a 10 by. It's either a 9 by 11 or a 10 by 13. One of those two options, and fully customizable. and they have plenty in stock.
I'm excited.
Sure. Yeah. Well, we got a guest in the basement that wants to pop in. Let's see this is one half of Ontario Camping Couple. Where's Sabrina?
Sabrina's actually, she went to bed. We've been working hard on renos. So.
Oh, hi, Rob.
How you doing, Rob?
Yeah,
We're good.
So I got a question for you.
Sure.
So when we get back from our first trip next year, we're looking at going into the White Mountains with a friend of ours, Dave.
Okay,
Now,
the Whites. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna cut it short because he's only got 4 days that he can do it with us, which is going to leave us another 6 days. So on our way home, we're going to be swinging by kind of where you guys are.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if you would have a place that you would recommend for us where we can go canoeing, not maybe to the extremes that we normally do, but somewhere we can go for like 5 or 6 days and have a nice trip.
So the Whites are in Pennsylvania, aren't they?
Yes.
Right. So then you have to come down through like New York and then Ohio, Michigan, and come up again. Am I right? Okay.
Yes.
I had to think about that for a minute.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's a good question.
Wow. I mean, there's
I know.
Manistee River.
I'm thinking maybe one of the river systems.
Manistee River, it's a little more northern. I mean, there's the Osable River, but that's just nothing but a beer soak. So
yeah, no, I think
that's nothing there. And you basically just set your paddle down, crack a cold one, and the canoe will just take you right down the river.
Right, but in the
there's no paddling involved.
I know. I'm actually looking into a spot up in Upper Peninsula. So Dan Schultz, who is a friend of Dennis's, and you see him on the show and stuff like that. He did a cute little trip just up here not too long ago.
Was it by Autrain?
And I think it wasn't too far from here. I'm going to find out exactly where that is. I don't think he even did that on his video. I think he just like maybe Instagrammed it and just said, hey, this is kind of where I was at. But it had cute little, it was a loop and it was like portages. And I think it was like maybe 3 lakes, nothing crazy, but just something different to get you maybe, a little more further north into Michigan.
Yeah, because I think we're going to be down there. It'd be it'd be near the end of August. Sorry, I lost my voice. Yeah. We did drunk karaoke the other night. Yeah,
I love it.
It's going to be the end of August, beginning of September when we're down around that area. Perfect. Yeah,
cool.
It'd be really, really nice too. Actually, is maybe something in the Red River Gorge.
Oh, I've heard you guys talk about that a lot.
Yeah, like that could be kind of cool too. We could like meet you down that way or something. You know what I mean? That's kind of marvelous as well. I know. Yeah. That's a really good question, Rob. Leave it with me too. But I think that's all I can think of. With either like one of our like river systems, which are amazing. Like you can go for days on one of the rivers around here, which is really, really cool. And it's all like dispersed camping, like we would do like back home in Ontario, or maybe definitely some of the bigger lakes that are up north, but they're all in the UP. So you'd have to make your way up that way, go through the Sioux, and then come on back down again, maybe. But if you wanted to do that,
quite the trek.
But that'd be a bigger trek for sure. But yeah.
No, I'm okay. I'm okay with the bigger trek. It's the wife that I got to convince that everything's planned, right?
We love her. We love Sabrina.
And how's Sabrina doing these days?
She's doing really well. She's a little bit edgy about the trips that I'm planning for next year because they could be a little bit more than, we might be biting off a little bit more than we can chew. But I mean, you don't know till you try, right?
That's your mantra these days, isn't it?
Man,
Oh, yeah.
How's that shoulder doing?
It's getting there. It's not 100%, but it's good enough to the point now that I've already started planning a couple of winter trips.
Good.
But I've learned my lesson. I'm not going to be taking as much gear. So because of that, they're probably going to be solos because Sabrina's really banging for a hot tent.
I feel like everybody is.
Why not?
And you know what? And in all fairness, I put her through enough crap in the summer. I should give her a little bit of comfort in the winter.
I agree. Yes.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Oh man.
Oh, I like Brian's comment. Oh, drunky yoki.
Rob, do you have a winter trip planned then already?
I've got a couple of small solo ones that are just going to be where I'm just going to go into Crown Land and make do with whatever I can carry in without busting my shoulder up again.
Yeah.
We mentioned with Dennis, maybe we could, I'm looking into a spot now where maybe we get a few of us together in the wintertime and, you know, have a bunch of group out where we can do some ice fishing and still plan, but being able to find a place that's centralized.
That'd be nice. A great idea.
Yeah. But they're trying to find a place right now that's centralized for us to get to where there's not a lot of leased property on the Crown land is getting very hard. Like it's when you're in that mid part of Ontario, there's a ton of Crown land, but a lot of people have leased it.
Interesting.
So you can still kind of go onto the property.
Yeah.
But I don't want to invade.
You know what I
mean? I don't want to cross that line.
No,
Is there
especially
like
with the big group too.
on the lease property? Isn't there like an easement access to go at least go across it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. There is. And some of them where there's one place where we camped on our Moon River trip where I'd actually spoke to the owner who had the lease. He had the mineral rights to the land, but that's all he had. So he said, you guys can do whatever you want. Just
cool.
You can't do technically any mining or anything like that. Right. But yeah, he's like,
right? You're sifting for gold.
Right? Yeah.
No pan in here.
Right.
Yeah, man.
As for a winter trip, until we get a hot tent, there's nothing really major in the works. We would have had a hot tent by now, but I just bought all new camera gear and a new laptop, and
priority. Do you guys have snowshoes?
No.
No. Do you have snowshoes?
No, we do, but they're very old and they're sentimental, so I don't use them.
Okay.
Yeah, they've been in the family for quite a while.
That's nice.
So that's something after last year's trip where I took her out twice. On the second one where she was up to her waist, she's like, no, we're getting some. And I haven't yet.
Maybe Santa can bring some.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So keep me posted for that there. Sounds like it'd be a good time though.
I will, absolutely. Yeah, I will, absolutely.
You're up around Perry Sound somewhere, are you not?
Actually, yeah, you know what? I never even thought about looking around there. Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, please, Colleen, if you can, if you could look into that, because it would be cool. Because like I said, we thought we were going to do 10 days down in the mountains.
Yeah.
But we're not. It's down to 4.
Yeah.
And this is where we have to also too. I'm looking into he's one of these lightweight guys too. Like his whole pack weighs like 16 pounds, and he could be gone for like a week. I'm like,
he's my kind of guy.
Yeah, and I'm like, I can't even wrap my head around that concept after being in the canoe for so long, right? Like,
right. So yeah, to go from 65 plus pounds down to less than 20.
You'd be flying. You'd be like doing 100 miles a day. It's crazy.
But yeah, if you could look into something for us down there, and if it works out that you guys are available around that time too,
I know
we can work it out where we catch a weekend with you.
I would love that. We totally would love that.
Plenty of breweries in Grand Rapids.
We tried in June. It didn't work out. I was like, but it's all good.
That's okay. That's okay. Lots of time.
But it was awesome to have you and Sabrina on the show.
It was, it was awesome to be on the show.
That was like when we met you guys, it was like instant connection, and we were like, we just made like lifelong friends. You know what I mean? It was pretty nice.
And you guys are bad influences now too, because now I'm looking at like Subarus and stuff. Sabrina's like,
whoops.
Yeah.
Make sure you tell her we said hi.
Yeah,
I will. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for popping in, Rob. Appreciate it, man.
All right. Thanks, Dennis. See you guys later.
Yeah, you got it, Rob.
Yeah, great couple, him and Sabrina. That's that's funny.
Did you meet them at the outdoor show?
I did meet them at the Toronto Outdoor
Adventure Show. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have another guest. I'll be with you in a second there in the basement. Wanted to talk to you a bit about your show. You've had you're in your second or third season now?
It's number 2.
Second season.
Number 2. Awesome. And What prompted you to want to do a show on Backcountry Couples? Is it because you're a backcountry couple yourself?
Well, clearly I'm shy.
No.
Clearly you're shy. Yes.
I don't like people. Yeah, I know. So I just honestly, it was John and I are obviously a couple. We have fun together.
Really?
Crazy stuff, right? And we enjoy doing things together. And John one day said that he didn't want to be that person that said, you know what, come home from a trip or come home from doing something and say, oh my God, you should have seen this. Oh my gosh, this was so amazing, you know? And he was like, I don't want to do that. I want to have memories with you and do all the fun stuff and all the hard stuff it is to get there and enjoy everything. And then we just kind of started looking into our kind of circles that we already had kind of been involved in. And there was quite a few couples, and we were like, how cool would it be that if we maybe started chatting with other people doing like-minded things? And I did some research, and nobody's out there doing anything about couples doing it together. So we reached out to probably 10 people initially in the beginning of June and said,
Something
hey,
like
want to do a soft launch. This is the idea. This is the concept. What are your thoughts? And last year we spoke with 42 people. Like, that's crazy. So
42 couples.
42 people or 42 couples?
42 couples, I meant to say. Yeah. We did 42 shows, which was way too ambitious.
Yeah. I'm like a 30 to 35 show.
So, and that's the thing. So this year,
season, we're dialing it back a little bit.
So that's what we said. So this year, we're like, wait a minute, like, and we love it. And like you said, there's, you know, some time and effort that goes into doing the show.
Sometime.
It is a lot of time. It is, but it's the people that we've met. It's the engagement of the chat. Like, I just love all the people that we've met just through like the chat people, just friends of the people who are on the show. And
in other words, we got a lot of people to go meet. They always say, you've got to come down here, come over here. And it's like meet friends in Arizona, California, Oklahoma,
and
Kentucky.
then the concept was not just chatting with the couples. It's like just sharing kind of what you've done, all that kind of stuff, and their stories,
what they've done.
You know, how fun and cool is it to create, you know, memories in the backcountry together, you know?
And just have them to not rekindle, just to bring back up the memories that they had, and, you know, from their you know, previous trips and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, that was a really great trip, you know, something like that. Or sort of.
And I'm a bit of a researcher, so I'm just not like, you know, I'm not scrolling through people's Instagrams and doing like little YouTube. I'm just like, I need to know more. So
stalker.
I always try to get one little tidbit of something, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm not ambitious. Am I amazing? I don't know. I just love it. It's a lot of fun. And we're already booking into January for this year. So the response has been amazing. And there's people that we had on last year that we want to have back on the show. Like, they've already done some, you know, amazing trips. Like Carol and Glenn, like they just finished an amazing, you know, Yukon adventure. We missed
them by
did you hear that story?
Really? Pardon?
Did you hear that story about Carol and Glenn and us?
No.
Oh my God.
So
when you mentioned their names, I just thought about the time, the experience I had meeting them on a canoe.
Oh, they're so lovely.
They're on their way back from the big Yukon trip that they did. And we were passing through in North Dakota, and literally we stopped at the most centralized,
the geographical center of North America.
So at that point, we took a picture, Instagram and stuff like that. A day later, they post the same dang picture. And it's like,
what?
How the heck did you? It's like, we must have been pulled off and got gas somewhere, because there's no way possible I would have missed a white Subaru with a canoe on it, towing a trailer, going down the same road.
Because it's Highway 2, which is like a, you know, a 2-lane road.
That's
like,
the road they were coming down. And it's like, we just missed them.
Yeah, so that would have been
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're an incredible couple.
Absolutely.
Their heart is in the right place then too.
Oh yeah,
we were when we had our recap, our kickoff recap, and talking to them and what they did and what they've seen on this past trip. It was like was it over 16,000?
I don't even know.
16,000 kilometers they did, wild. Or something. But anyways,
there's been people to recap on the show for sure. And but there's so many new people that we can't wait to, you know, talk with and share with everybody else. So exciting. And the thing is, it's not even, we don't care if you have one subscriber or you just started your Instagram account, that's not what it's all about. It's all about sharing these adventures, how cool it is, all the fun places you've been.
Yeah, the stories that you've made.
And it's great. This whole outdoor community has been amazing and very supportive.
Well, you can tell you do a lot of good work with your show. I enjoy it. I wish I could catch it live all the time. I can't always catch it live.
Right,
but,
right.
I always pop in if I can, or I rewatch it, and it's a
Thank you.
good opportunity for me to get to meet, well, not meet, but learn about a lot of different people myself, right? So,
well, that's what we were hoping tonight. I mean, obviously in the chat, there's some of the people that are always, that come in and chime in with us, and I'm hoping they're going to be Canoe Hound friends too.
Yeah, hey,
I'm sure they will be
down there.
That's right. Hang out with our
Well, we have two of your former or past guests
down there. Ding that little bell. You'll get notified.
Say that again.
I said, we got two people in the basement here. I'm going to bring up the first one, and we'll get to the second one after we're done with all-terrain coffee and camping. Jason, how you doing, man?
Hi, Jason.
Hey, you got some good coffee?
Hey, I've got coffee. I'm actually getting ready to brew another cup right now. I got the kettle on.
I seen you on their show a couple weeks ago, and coffee's right up my alley, man.
Oh, yeah. Jason is right? How good is this? So
it is amazing.
Oh my God. So Dennis, you love coffee too. So Mickwick is he made applewood. He smoked coffee beans with applewood. It's amazing. It's smoky, delicious. Oh, so good.
And for someone who doesn't like stuff smoked a whole lot, she liked it a lot.
It's really, really good. Jason, how are you?
Your wife doesn't like coffee, right?
Correct. It's not that she doesn't like.
See, I watched. I paid attention, man.
See, it's not that she doesn't like coffee. It actually makes her nauseous.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what helped accelerate me doing what I do and trying to do coffee outdoors in different ways and brewing it so where you're not brewing a whole big pitcher of it I said pitcher. You know what I mean? A big carafe of it. Yeah. So that way you're not spilling the whole house the same way. Gotcha. Now, that being said, she has problems coming upstairs to my office because, as you can imagine, I probably have 15 pounds of coffee right now in his office. I'm not lying.
Yeah.
And how many different ways of making coffee do you have up there? Right? That's
I got 100 ways I can make coffee. I can imagine.
Right.
There's at least 9 ways within hand reach right now. No lie.
That is the best. You are absolutely the best.
So in several of them, I've not actually done videos on yet. And I'm about to come up with a new series, but I'm not here to talk about me. I'm here to talk about y'all.
Okay. Right. What's going on?
I've got a question. But first, I do want to make one comment. Okay. I think you all appreciate this. Did everybody notice it looks like Sabrina did make Rob trim that beard down since y'all's episode 1? I think Sabrina cracked that neck a little bit. Yeah, because it looks a little tame.
Good eyes, Jason. Good eyes.
Love you, Rob.
That's funny, Brian J.
Like Brian's comment here. My sister-in-law loves the smell of the cake.
So my dad's the same way. My dad loves the way it smells. He can't stand to drink it. So when I go to their house, he's like, "Are you going to brew coffee?" And I'm like, "Yes."
Yeah.
So the question I've got for y'all, I know I've noticed. So of course, a lot of times y'all talk about, just like you did with Rob. Oh, there's plenty of breweries around here that we can meet up at. And I've also seen y'all on various videos that you've done. There was one, I can't remember the video, but y'all were doing like an overlanding or maybe a tent camp. And in that video, you had stopped at this, I'm just going to call it a meat store. It just had like tons of meat in it. And of course, on the way to y'all stopped at this barn where you picked up wood. Which leads me to my question of, when you decide like, hey, we're going to go backpacking, canoeing, camping, whatever, at this site, do you actually take time to kind of find out what's along the way that we can stop at to have unique experience? Y'all do that?
100%. Yes,
That's
it
really-
is. Yeah, it's not just the destination; it's kind of how you get there, obviously,
Mhm.
and then what's along the way. So I'm just working on the video right now for day number 1 for Pictured Rocks. So we're in Unising, and yeah, we went to A Burger, which is like the famous burger place up there. We went to a By George Brewery. It's a
Voted one of the was it the top 5 places
in like Michigan or something for burgers. Like it was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And then a few little surprises. There was some guys playing or a guy playing live music at the at this bar we went through, the brewery. And then we found a great breakfast place the next morning too. So and a coffee place the day after.
Holy
so
cow.
like Jason, it is fancy pants. Like it was fun. It was really, really nice. So but I agree. That is one of the things that we want to enhance the traveling experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we try to find the roadside attractions. So to
It's
speak.
the roadside attractions. That's true. Yep.
Yeah, and I think y'all actually did that too when you went up to, I'm going to probably butcher this name, Algonquin.
Yep.
I think I remember, your day 1 video where y'all had stopped maybe for a meal or something like that along the way.
Always.
I love that element y'all put in a lot of your videos where you're stopping at these various stores and you're showing, like, to me, it's about making that one adventure this really huge journey.
It's
right.
a journey. I agree. Yep.
Make the best of the time that you have with it. So I think that's awesome. And I do appreciate it a lot.
Thank you.
I just want to say, one of these days, I'm going to go to that meat shop y'all went to.
Oh, that's
They have like alligator and
that's Dublin's
bison
market
and like
in
kangaroo.
Dublin.
Maybe no kangaroo, but I don't know.
No, they had
Just
kangaroo.
like, did they? I don't know.
Yeah, I think I remember you pointing out that they had kangaroo.
They
It
might
was
have, I don't know, but yeah, it's just one of those
they
things.
do have a storefront in Grand Rapids, but that's
Oh, yeah, they
that's their main
do.
hub, and it's just nothing but all different kind of hot sticks and jerkies and
Good question.
cheeses. But yeah, it's
I
good
might
stuff.
use that question. Hang on a minute.
Hey, that's my content.
What was that?
I said, hey, that's my content.
I know, right?
You're going to have to start asking for royalties now.
Right.
Oh, Jason, you stop.
All amongst friends here.
100%.
Right on.
Super nice to see you, but you're good. Everything's all good.
No,
Why?
because if I'm doing good, that means there's a problem. I
Oh,
only accept awesome and above in my life.
okay.
Come on, you should know that. I mean, you've talked to me like this is the second time. You should know I'm doing totally stinking awesome.
I know. You are so kind too. So kind. You are.
Thank you.
I'm only kind because of the coffee. I made a comment earlier in the chat where, honestly, I don't have to drink coffee to live.
Okay.
Everybody around me needs me to drink coffee so they can live.
That's probably a true story.
That's a good one.
Right?
I think it was somebody at work last week. Somebody had showed me this little thing and they were like, you need to get this made as a sticker. And after I read it, I said, no, I need that as a tattoo. And it stated, unattended children will be given a puppy and a shot of espresso.
Right on. There you go. That is
Put that
so
on a
funny.
t-shirt, maybe.
A t-shirt. These canoes like oh.
Oh, Jason, thanks for popping in, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Super nice to see you.
See you, Jason.
Sorry, what was that?
I said, nice to virtually meet you.
You too as well. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy. Awesome. Yeah, you know what? You guys have had some really, really cool guests on the show.
Thank you.
I have to ask now, and this isn't to put you on the spot because there's many of your past guests in the chat over there. But what are some of your more memorable shows that you've had?
Oh, brother.
And you're not hurting any feelings, everybody.
No, I agree.
Oh,
I agree.
Because everybody's had a couple of shows that are like, that are memorable ones. Like I always go on record to say having, Les Stroud on my show was
right.
Any show that Kevin Collen is on is a real treat, or Happles. And so there's definitely some that really
Okay. I agree. So
gosh, we've had the trekking pals from out of Arizona, then talking to them about their epic trip
did like Kilimanjaro and stuff
Kilimanjaro.
like that.
You know what it entailed, what they had to do to prepare for that trip. That was quite pretty impressive.
I
Forrest the canoe.
Yeah, so I'm going to say a lot of our guests and the show, it's like tonight, it becomes like a giggle fest. Like there's so much. It's just like you just like you've known somebody, you know, you end up like laughing, having a good time, and all that fun kind of stuff.
Right on.
I think one of the shows that really stands out was the first show we did on the American Perimeter Trail with Rue McHenrick and Layla Grace. That was the first show they had, you know, that was not a romantic couple. So that was really cool to kind of bring that forward, and like kind of, you know, we learned a lot that show. And I think it shows that where we learned something. You know what I mean? Where we kind of go, wow, that's amazing. Or we didn't know that was around, or we didn't know that's how you do it, or whatever. I think it's the learning for sure. Did we mention anybody? No, she's good. I know. But honestly, they've all been good, all been fun. We've never had a flat show. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, there can be somebody where, you know, you go, oh brother, how are we gonna have like an hour show, or is it gonna be a 2-hour show tonight, or whatever?
Right.
But I feel like it just becomes a great conversation, and when you interact with the chat, and I always feel like you have something in common with them anyways. So it usually works out really, really well.
Totally. And they know all the answers. So it's just going down memory lane with them.
But I do have to say one thing though. What? Okay, maybe 5 more things, but just one. But the thing is that sometimes it is like either the woman is the one that's most, you know, out there, or the guy is more out there, whatever it is. So sometimes it's not as like the same side. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes it's the guy that's the more adventurer.
It's not even keel.
It's not as even keel, exactly.
Tyler, play on words there, everybody.
Yeah, right. So, but they've all been fabulous, definitely.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome. Well, let's bring up our final guest that's in the basement there. It's Darren from Ride Paddle Repeat. Hey,
Darren.
man.
Hi, Darren.
Hey, guys.
How you doing, buddy?
Good. Nice to see you, Dennis.
Nice
Great to see you this past weekend.
Yes, sir.
Oh, were you at the Winter Symposium too?
Yeah.
That's nice.
He goes to all the good shows. Hey, the last show that I seen him at too, this guy won a full set of tires.
What?
From Cal Tires. Talk about tires. I
Moly.
wanted to run there and then go buy a lottery ticket after that.
Yeah, no kidding. No.
Yeah, I almost did, but I spent all my money buying raffle tickets for that.
Well, congrats on that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice. How have you been?
Great, thanks. Those tires are promptly sitting on our Subaru too, but
there you go.
Not as cool as yeah.
Awesome.
Oh.
Yeah. I wanted to maybe ask a question and circle back to the canoe side of things.
Yes.
Also, I wanted to echo Jason's previous comment, because I think that's a really cool thing you guys and you do in your videos too, where you make all these like stops to kind of like set the context before you go there. So this canoe question is like, I noticed you guys have a little bit of a collection of paddles, and I know you're still like, when you go out there, you rent boats and stuff. So do you have a preference for your paddle, and do you have a preference for your boat? And are you thinking of getting one soon?
Good question.
Well, yeah, we love our Hunter and Harris paddles. There's no question about that.
Which are Otter Tails, right?
Yeah. No.
Oh, Norseman. Sorry, they're Norseman.
The Norseman.
Yeah.
It's like a hybrid.
Yep, the hybrid one.
Yep.
We do have our river paddles that we got from
oh my God.
Southern
Paddle.
Southern Paddle.
Oh geez, whew, that was fast. Good job, honey.
Yep. Love those. They're a little on the heavy side, so I mean they're perfect for the river paddle, a nice casual kind of river paddle, so to speak, not for like white rat,
for long days either.
Long days because they're a little bit heavy, but they're nice and they're custom. We love them. So depending on where we're doing, that's the only two wooden paddles that we have. But as for which canoe brand we're going to go with, and getting a canoe, yes, we are going to get a canoe. had a really nice conversation with Kevin Collen in regards to.
They did a Zoom thing because they were just like, I know Dennis has his Novacraft. I know.
You're from London. You have to.
He was like, oh, check it out, man.
I know.
So had talking with Kevin for I think we talked for probably close to an hour.
Yeah, he was so kind to do that.
Giving the pros and cons of what we want to do, and so to speak. The Swift is definitely the durability is somewhat there in for like lake paddling and easy portaging and stuff like that. But the majority of the paddling we do around here is rivers and a lot of rough stuff. So we got a lot of trees and rocks sticking up. And he said, bar none, he said your best bet is to go with a Novacraft, the Expedition model. With it being a 16-foot, no, not an Expedition, the 16-foot Prospector,
yeah.
But actually going with the 17-foot, because we want to, eventually we'll have a dog to have that, just that little extra space, and going with that's what it was called, the tough stuff Expedition coating on it.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be heavier by 5 more pounds. So in grand total with we're looking at
you flipping a face beater, right? So
65.
Right.
So that canoe is 65 pounds, as it sits, and the Swift one was only 30 some pounds.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
So we want something that's going to be built to last, and that we can do either way. Whether it's lake paddling or river paddling here in Michigan.
Right. And then, like we said earlier, we already booked to go to CANOEHOUND'S, right, in March. So we're hoping that all the vendors will be there this year, and hopefully make a decision.
That's
what
the
did
whole
you
plan.
use again?
We went with H2O.
H2O, right? That's what it was. Okay.
They make some nice canoes too, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with Swift, H2O, Novacraft. They're all.
Yeah.
I know.
Every brand out there makes a nice canoe. Short of the old Collen, right? That way.
What's the other one called? The Grumman?
The boat anchor,
Grumman canoe.
boat anchor fiberglass ones by Coleman. Holy moly!
I bet. Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Way to make
but
that
it's
ton.
definitely on the list. Like, you know what I mean?
So that's what we were hoping for when we went to CANOEHOUND'S this past season, was the fact that we were hoping, the vendors were going to be there, but no, just Darren from Rutabago, he just had what he had in stock set up. And we didn't get the chance to talk to anybody from Novacraft or Swift or nothing.
Yeah, because
like
they weren't there, unfortunately. So
hopefully they'll be back this coming season. So
good question, though.
I would say don't be afraid to look for even a factory second.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
That's a good idea.
If you know your canoe's going to get banged up, you know what? My Novacraft canoe was a factory second when I bought it.
Okay.
And I bought it, like it had a couple, it looked like when they took it out of the mold, it was still warm, and there was like a couple thumbprints in it.
Okay.
Oh, no kidding.
I looked at that, I go, that's the worst of it, man. No problem, right?
Right?
I didn't even think about that. That's a good.
That is a very good idea.
Yeah.
Opportunity to save a few $100s or more, right? So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
and hopefully we'll be able to, if we do, finally make a decision at the show, get a, get a show special or something. Who knows?
Oh, that could be possible too. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, good call.
I think Novacraft just had at their London paddle shop. Didn't they have their factory second blowout?
Did they really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Wish I'd have
known.
A
lot of outfitters
down
too.
there and got my new canoe.
Yeah. The thing with that though is
I'm not telling.
We got to come over there. We can buy the boat, but when we got to come back, we got to pay
double taxes.
We got to pay double duty on that thing.
But
if we
get on a good canoe trip and scratch it up and then take it back, and it's like they'll never know how to smuggle a canoe. I didn't see that on the show anyway. I was like, delete.
I'm trying to get my U.S. citizenship. I'm trying to be good. Come on.
Yep, that's right. You're.
I know.
She's
eligible. I know.
Very good.
Yeah. So hopefully.
Darren, thanks for popping in, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
And say hi to Darren for us, please.
Oh, I will. Thank you.
Okay.
I'll be in touch soon. I plan on getting out to that day camp really soon. So, yeah.
Thanks, Dennis. That'd be great.
Thanks, buddy.
Is that close to you, Darren?
Relatively close, yeah.
There you go. Okay, very cool.
Cool.
Awesome.
Thanks,
All
guys.
right, man. Talk to you
All right,
later.
nice to see you, Darren.
All righty. Stick around in the green room, Darren. You know what? We're getting really close here. So I just want to maybe say, how can people find your show?
So you can go to find us on YouTube searching for Kuehl Kuest, Kuehl, and it's the easiest way to find us on there. You can even do a search for Backcountry Couples. We come up.
That is true too.
That's another way. We're on Instagram with our Kuehl Kuest, and if you want to follow our Subaru build, you can look for Jack Forrester, which is JACK 4 STR.
Right on. And usually, so our shows are on Thursdays at 7. Very similar format to kind of what we've got going on here. It's very easy, very user friendly. Mondays, I post who the show is about, right? So we have an opportunity to kind of share it out, and so everyone can expect to, what to expect, which is awesome.
We like to keep the audience. We like to.
Like I don't usually say, "Hey, so next week is this," right? So we like to make sure that we're good with everybody, and
it keeps everybody tuning in.
It does. It does. So, and it's been a lot of fun, and we don't want to stop doing it. And like I said, the response has been great, and we look forward. We're going to connect with some new people tonight, it looks like, which is awesome. So we appreciate that.
By all means, you know what? Jonny and Colleen are always looking for new content or new guests, just like I am always looking for the same thing.
That's
so,
right.
You know what? If you're a backcountry couple and you want to be on Backcountry Couples.
Hey, that's my line.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Delete. Okay.
That's right. No, and the thing is it's just like you. We're real people doing real stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we just love to do everything that that our couples love to do and what you love to do. Bottom line is we're just outdoor people. We'd love to have a little, drink around the campfire with you, but this is we're just doing it like over the YouTube. And so and honestly, over the course of the summer, we had done a lot of trips, and we didn't post anything. So the winter time is when we're gonna put the nose to the grind, and we're gonna start posting some content now.
When we say, which she means her.
Just like you, Dennis. It's hard, So. But yeah, trips are gonna start rolling in, and I hope everybody had a good time tonight. It was really fun to be.
Yeah, it was a fun show. You know what? Very relaxing. Very nice and smooth.
As we always say, what you see is what you get. It's no different whether you were talking over the screen or you're talking live. This is how we are.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just and our thing is like when we do our show and stuff like that, it's just you're literally in our house.
Well, we're in our dining room right now, so yeah.
It's just kick back,
love
relax.
The decor, man. I love the decor.
Oh,
I'm in my basement, man. Look at that, eh?
I know.
Big window back here, and
lake.
Never gets dark.
Molly Lake.
Did you? I was going to ask.
Yes, did you remember that?
Yeah, I did.
Did you print that? Your backdrop there?
Yeah.
That's very cool.
That's a 4x8 window right there.
That's so good. That's so good.
Nice.
Well, I hope we've met some new friends tonight, and pop on over to Kuehl Kuest so you don't miss anything what we got going on, and we'd love to see you on Thursdays for our live stream too.
Yeah, you know what? By all means, their links to their YouTube channel and their Instagram are in the description below. So by all means, check that out. Check them out on Thursday nights. Get them an email if you want to be on their show sometime. And you never know, maybe I'll talk to my buddy Jay. If we're not a couple, but we're regular canoe partners.
But
right?
you are. That's right. No, do it.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. We've out to people, and sometimes they're like, well, I don't know, but I mean, do it. We would love that. Absolutely. And you know what that is too? It's a different perspective, right? Yeah. That'd be great. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah.
You know what? It was long overdue having you two on the show. I know you got busy schedules and stuff like that, but thanks very much for coming on, man. It's been a lot of fun. Everything I expected And I know one day soon we're going to meet for
I
beverages
know.
and maybe
I
dinner
know.
and maybe whatever else, right? So
Without a doubt, without it. And then congrats to whoever's going to win. I'm excited to share with our Mickwick stuff along with the swag pack you got going on. And yeah, good luck, everybody.
So just remember, everybody, what's the name of Jonny and Colleen's weekly live stream show? And it's not above their head. Yes, it is. And please drop your email to me with the answer at coefprize@gmail.com by Friday this week of 11 o'clock. So we can get the draw done earlier. I'll contact the winner for information. We'll get that across to Jonny and Colleen, and you're going to get all kinds of neat little prizes. So that's a good thing. Jonny and Colleen, thanks very much for joining me tonight and
Our
spending
pleasure.
your Tuesday evening. I'm so glad it happened.
Absolutely,
Me too,
Dennis.
me
Thanks so much
too.
for having us
All
on your
right.
show. We really appreciate it.
We do, for sure.
Great.
And thanks,
Well,
everybody. It was nice to meet everybody and see everybody in the chat. And so have a great week, everybody.
Awesome. We'll see you in the basement in a moment here.
You got it.
Yep. Peace out, Cub Scouts.
Yep. Well, everybody, thanks very much for tuning in and joining the show. It was actually a lot of fun. They are a fantastic couple. I'm so glad that we connected. The Can-Am connection is what they are. I just want to remind everybody to tune in next Tuesday as we go from Backcountry Couples to Backcountry Buddies. We're going to have none other than John from Lost Lakes and Xander Budnick are going to be on the show to talk about their backcountry friendship that these two guys have made. And they've done a lot of great videos and done a lot of really cool trips together. So make sure you tune in next Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. We'll get that all taken care of. Once again, just wanted to thank everybody who has participated in this little buy me coffee thing that's going on there to help replenish some of this gear. I look really washed out in this video, I notice, and that's partially due to the crappy camera that I got. And yeah, probably the system that I got running here. So anyways, we're going to try and get that all fixed up here within the next week or two so we can have some better stuff. And if you have any ideas for shows, make sure you drop me an email as well, because I would love to fulfill that. Anyways, in the meantime, everybody, I hope everybody has a fantastic week. Get out there and enjoy what's left of the fall and before the snow all falls, unless you're already in an area where the snow is falling. So anyways, have a great week.